Today we're going to find out if good filmmaking is hereditary. Hey everybody, hope you guys are doing good out there. Today's movie review is going to be Antiviral. I've wanted to see this one for a while, and it came out in late 2012, I guess, at some film festivals and stuff. Finally got a copy to watch, and the reason I really wanted to see it was because it's Brandon Cronenberg, and his dad is David Cronenberg. And when I read this, about the synopsis of the plot, it has a very early Cronenberg type plot to it, and it does overall feel like one of his dad's original, the early part of his filmmaking career. But Antiviral, it stars Caleb Landry Jones. You might know him from Banshee and X-Men First Class, and he also played Nell Sweetzer's brother in The Last Exorcism. He's like a ginger, he has long red hair. He looks a little sickly, so it plays into the role of this film really good. So let's get to the film, Antiviral. The plot is basically the main character, Sid, works for this company, and they sell viruses that they've harvested off basically major celebrities. So it's kind of like a future type setting, even though there's nothing really futuristic, because I believe all the science is probably available to do this stuff now. It's just the moral, ethical things won't work. And, I can't imagine anybody wanting to do this, but in this society, people want to do this. They want to inject themselves with these viruses from these celebrities. And he's a salesman, and what he does is kind of get involved with the black market side of things also. And there's some other stuff kind of going on. There's a guy who owns a meat market. And when I say meat market, I mean it loosely, but he's like his contact in the black market world. And if you've seen the meat market stuff, tell me what you thought about that. I'm sure it's scientifically you could probably do that nowadays, but just such a gross idea. Besides that, the thing I really liked about this film is the cinematography, the art direction. Everything is usually like this sort of sterile white color. And I was reading before I made this video that I guess they did half the film was already shot just, like in pre-production or whatever, because some of it's like reels explaining how the company works, how they sell their viruses. Some of the stuff is film that's of celebrities. And the art direction is really good. The world they're in is this very somber, one tone. Everybody's kind of the same note, and then you see these celebrities, and they're kind of like the highlight of everything. They're the only ones wearing like any colors or have any colors around them. So the whole somber tone is really cool. Caleb Landry Jones, the main actor, does a really good job. Like I said, he's sort of sickly look that he already has, his pale features, and the freckles, and then he's kind of skinny, tall, and he plays the sickly role really good. And he's a good actor. He played off this role kind of creepy at the same time. And there's some horror scenes that are harken back to the old Cronenberg, the body horror, where the body's morphine sort of. The way they explained that I thought was pretty cool. But as far as the science goes, they don't go too deep into it. So it is science fiction, but it's that very mild type of science fiction, no ray gun type shit. Thing I think people are gonna have a problem with, and I really liked it. I'm gonna give it a 4.0 out of 5. So that's a pretty high rating for me. Definitely recommending it. The one problem I think people are gonna have is the tone is really good, but the movie is an hour and 43 minutes. I think it runs a little long, and the one sort of like note of the movie is going to turn people off. It's going to bore them. I think the movie's a little too long for its own good, unless you're really willing to sit down and watch kind of a drug out, drama. It's more like a drama. There's no real action or anything. It's just, it's drama, tension, suspense, all that stuff. But there's not a lot going on to probably keep some people interested. If you like the original Cronenberg stuff, you'll probably like it. That's why I liked it. But just, they could have edited some. I think that's the one problem I had with it mostly. The tone is fine and the slow pace is fine with me, but I think the slow pace is going to turn a lot of people off. And they're going to kind of get lost in the story. I think I had a little, I'm not going to say understanding, but about the virus stuff, the virology. To me, it just creeps me out more. I mean, if you've read anything about viruses, it's just creepy. I mean, if you're not into that type of stuff, like I said, you're probably not gonna like the movie as much, not get the creepiness factor of it. But 4 out of 5 from me. So I'll be back soon with a review for Dark Skies. I'm gonna put a link to it and I'm promo my next video. Couldn't see the early screening of that, but gonna have a review for you as soon as possible. All right, guys, take care.